Hi guys, welcome back. This is Mr. Smart Tips with Paul. It's another day, another time. We continue with our learning and analysis. So it's a good day. Hope everybody had a good weekend. And I want to remind you something, guys. And I want you to compare these things with trading. A person may need 5 years to get a degree, and you need 5 years to 10 years to gain experience actually in a top 9 to 5 job. And you need 10 years of training to become a professional athlete. But for some reason, traders give up if they don't become successful in 1 month. How do you expect to be profitable within a month? And actually, you have not yet gained the required skills. You have not mastered your own emotions. If you can't handle yourself during the losses and in profits, how do you react on it? Trading is not a get rich quick thing. It will take time, but it will pay off eventually. So guys, freedom starts when you question your responsibilities. What are your responsibilities when you come into trading? It is not about just learning. It is about doing the thing repeatedly many times as possible. Why? You don't master by learning, you master it by doing. The same thing for a doctor. A doctor doesn't get better by reading. He gets better in practice of being a doctor. Treating people, analyzing how people react to different kind of medication, etc. Sawa. So, number one, yes, people don't have the patience to dedicate 3 years to learn to trade. But they have the patience to work for others for 40 years. Why the hell do you let anybody, just close that door of your own dreams? You dream of owning that luxury house, that luxury car. Watu wa GLE, Mercedes, Audi, they are waiting for you actually, guys. But the light time is not yet. Why do you dare give up? While you still have the ability, you just continue doing your thing. Keep pushing. You have nothing to lose actually. I don't think you have anything to lose except your life. That is what it costs. We all are fighting against poverty. But some of you are fighting against what we call illusions. You don't want to lose anything. Let me tell you, you won't win without risk. You take a risk, you win it big, man. This is what you realize at the end of the day. No risk, no that freedom you want or you wish. That cool life, that trip to Dubai, that trip to Maldives, anywhere you want to go. You will have that freedom after attaining that skill. And it is not only in Forex. I know you guys, some of you have never heard about drop shipping. Yeah? There are businesses, big businesses, that you can do, but what is holding on like you to not attain that goal? It's your thinking, your mindset. Change that and you will change your future. Today, right now, if you decide to focus on trading, it won't work out right now, but I believe it will eventually. It's either we win or we win. That is the power. I don't believe it. Yes, I do lose actually, but I embrace the losses. You know why? because that is where every beginner trader starts. You can't just start trading with profit. No, 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 no. The same way with school. Hukutoka form 4 ukaenda hadi baby class. No, 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 no. Every business has its own challenges. You better embrace the challenges. Come up with a strategy to deal with that strategy, to deal with that problem. Solve the problem, and the money will follow you. I believe money is a shy girl. The more you keep chasing her, the more she runs away from you. So guys, it's either you fight your demons or they end up raising your children. Trading is hard. Being poor is hard. You better choose your hard. And I believe being poor is the hardest thing in this world. And actually, you can change that with time, with knowledge. Knowledge is the key. Discipline is the key. I believe discipline with strategy, nobody will ever win against you. You will be the best. Not only right now, but forever. And patience is hard. And losses are hard. Choose your hard. I believe losses and patience is hard. Yes, but when they come together, if you embrace them, they will be the key, not to your success, but to your freedom. We don't want short-term successes. No, 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 no. We want to build something bigger than anyone's imagination. You know why? We don't just dream to make things happen. No, 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 no. We bring them into existence. That is our goal. I know consistency is hard. Giving up is hard. You better choose your hard. And mine, giving up is not an option. And consistency is my number one goal. You know why? Because I believe I am worthy of financial abundance. Yeah, guys, it's about time we all make a decision. Not only a decision for today, but for a lifetime. You know why? Some of us, we don't have another option. Trading is our last option. And we embrace every pain. We lose, we reset, we refocus, and we reback. You know why? Because I know this is my only way to be free from being a billionaire. If you understand what I mean. It's about time we make a statement. Not only to our enemies, but to ourselves. Trading has only two exits. You blow up an account, or you blow up emotionally, or financially. Most blow-ups are slow. They happen quietly. But how do you deal with it? Over-risking is one of the financial problems in trading. Revenge trading. Prediction addiction. You try to predict, but when it fails, you now start creating something in the market that doesn't exist. You just trade what you see, not what you think. Emotional exhaustion is another issue for traders. I've been there. I am there. And I will have classes on trading psychology. You just follow up. Guys, I wish everybody could only submit to probability and process. You have a defined edge, a fixed risk, outcome, neurality, and something called consistent execution. Boring is stable. stable, is profitable. There is no third door. The market doesn't reward hope. Hope is an illusion. It rewards, the market rewards repeatable behaviors. And I will repeat again, hope is an illusion. You have to break that system. It's either you break the system or the system will break you eventually. So we continue with where I left on the last video. It was about support and resistance, and here we are. So nilikuwa wapi? Tulikuwa tumewachia hapa. So this is what we call a resistance was formed right here after in this break of structure we had the right here. So after in this we marked this resistance. So lakini this resistance tuliona ili turn into a support. So you are supposed to take a buy from here and exit from here, this high right here. A risk reward ratio of 2:5, 3:5, or 1:5. Good one. So we continue. Where do we find another support? Right here. This is where we have another support. So from resistance to support. So what is happening right now? Price is reacting on our support zone right now. This zone has turned from being a resistance to being a support. Remember this concept I had touched right here, from a support turning into resistance and a resistance turning into a support. Guys, that was something I covered on my last video. So if you have not yet watched it, go and watch the basics on market structure, candlestick patterns, accumulation and manipulation, and distribution. And then we covered the ranging market and the downtrend market. So right now here I can see I had another, we have this zone here. This is what we call a support zone, or someone who wishes to trend what we call trend lines. This is a trend line, so you can get it. Then you can draw what we call a trend line. What does it do? A trend line helps us identify where the market will come back to. So as you can see right now, we were on an uptrend right here. Price touched this low here, this higher low right here, then formed a higher high, then came back, formed a higher low. What did price do? In that higher low, that is where our trend line is. So what do? We target the next high. So you can take a trade with a trend line from this zone right here. Actually, this is what we call a confluence. You have two reasons why you are taking a buy position, and that is a good zone. And actually, you can still add more position on it. So why? We have this resistance turning into support. Price is reacting where? Right here. You see? After price reacting here, we have what we call a trend line. A trend line yenye imekuwa respected. It has not yet been broken, but price respected this or nini, that trend line. So what do? We take a buy position from here. Let me just do an illustration. We take a buy position from in here. That is it. Target this high right here. Okay? As simple as that. Stop loss should be right here on this zone. Sawa? As simple as that. So what is the risk reward ratio? A risk to reward ratio of 2:9. A good one. Actually, that if you target that and you get those positions as many as possible, don't target, let me tell you, actually, if possible, only aim for 2 to 3 trades per day. That is enough for you. Why? Those small profits will accumulate to something we call a bigger profit one day, and it will create an empire that you have been waiting for a long time, rather than risk high amount of money and lose everything. Okay, thank you. So we can continue from in here. We had this support right here. So we had this resistance right here. So and this was the. So let me just use but let me mark in here in high, in this high. This is where we have a resistance. Okay, that is where you have a resistance. In these lows is our support. These higher lows are our support zone. Sawa. So what do? In this resistance, we draw a zone, not a line, but a zone using this rectangle shape right here. Okay, you mark the high of that, the last of the candle, which is the highest, and then you push it up, push it down kidogo too, then you pull it up into the right side of your hand, sawa, forming a what we call a support, a resistance. Right here was a resistance before it was broken. Then price came back to it. It retested, giving us a conclusion that this zone is no longer a resistance. It's a new support has been formed. So we take a buy from here, targeting this high. So we shall take a buy position from this zone, targeting that high, and that will be a good entry. As you can see, my setups are actually around 2:9, around there. That is what I actually aim for. I don't aim for big risk to reward ratios that are not making sense, actually. Do you hear me, guys? Number one, how to hold a trade. It's number one, don't get too attached. And you don't get too attached to a trade through number one thing. You don't risk more than your capital. You only risk the 0.5 ama 0.1% of your capital. Sawa. Mbona at least with that utakuwa ukijua I won't blow my account. Sawa, guys, and be realistic with your TP. And that is why I'm aiming for something that is realistic. As you can see, guys, price will come eventually. If price might sweep this high, then reverse, but at least I will have attained my profits eventually. Risk according to a risk tolerance. Don't over risk. Don't over trade, guys. I will have a class that will all be about trading psychology, and hope you follow. Then subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos as we continue to grow. And set and forget. If possible, set and forget. If actually possible, you can delete your MetaTrader 5. You set up a position, a take profit and a stop loss. All of that, I'll cover it. You set a stop loss and a take profit, then you delete your MT5. Mbona jukishida hapo, you might end up being crazy. For beginners, actually, that is advisable. You set the trade, let it run, delete your MT5, come back and check it later. Sawa. So we are now in a downtrend. What happens in a downtrend? This is what we call a support. Right here. In here. This is our support. It might not go with us vizuri sana, but can still make it work. Yeah, this is our support right here. Oops, it is not moving. So this is our support right here. How do we trade support and resistance in a downtrend? It is as simple as the uptrend. Sawa, nothing is hard in trading. The hardest thing is you not learning how to trade. Okay? I believe the hardest thing is whatever I have never had. Sawa. We've all been through hell, but it determines with what you call hard. Nothing is hard, and what you think is hard, it's just an illusion in your mind, and you can fix it. It's all about your thinking, actually, your mindset. Okay, guys? Yeah. So let me continue with trading support and resistance in a downtrend. This is our resistance, right? This is what we call a resistance level. Then we have this support level right here. Okay, guys? What do I mean? This is our resistance. Pole. This is our resistance. A confusion from an uptrend. Sasa, pole, guys. Sorry, guys, for that. We all make mistakes. I'm sorry about that. Long since I traded support and resistance, actually. So this is how we trade. So you just, the number one thing, this is what we call these low highs. Let me just use need to mark these zones. So this is what we call a resistance. I will just use an R. An R. kumaanisha it's a resistance level. Nimetumia small r. I'll just use yeah, let me just use it in ile instead of wasting a lot of time on it. That is a resistance. This is our resistance on a downtrend. From there, we go to find what we call a support. Where do we find a support? This right here, these lower lows are our support, and our lower highs are our resistance. Thank you. So, as you can see, guys, you enjoy doing it. The time you get to understand something, you get to understand how it works. You guys, you will enjoy eventually. So, that is how our support and how to find the resistance and the support. The support are these lower lows right here. These lower lows, lower low. And our resistances are our lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. As you can see, I've marked all our what we call our resistance with this more R. Sawa sawa. So how do I trade it? I only use this rectangle, come and draw it, then eventually that is it, as simple as that. So this, let me just not change the color for some few things. So this is what we call a support. This price has turned this zone after price breaking to the downside. This zone has turned from being a support to a resistance level. So how do you trade it? Now in a downtrend, remember, we are waiting or looking for short positions. And remember, one thing, point to note, we don't predict where the market is going. We react to the market. Yeah. So, after price giving us this resistance level, we take a short position from here, targeting this low right here. So, what do I mean? I will come take a short position from entry point right there. Target will be this low right here. A good risk to reward ratio of stop loss up there. That is a good short position, actually. Yeah, nimewaambia. Yes, you might get that big risk reward ratio 10 is to nini. But how many times will it hit your tip? That is the question. So, another time, another dollar. We come back from the lower low. We draw the lower low from this is our support zone. So we refine our zone vizuri sana. That is it. From there, we get the support turning from support to what we call a resistance right here. Price has broken and eventually came back to retest our zone, forming a resistance. So we take a position, a short position from this zone right here, from that zone right there, targeting the low. The low might be around that zone right here. As you can see, guys, that is how we trade support and resistance. As simple as this. So, guys, it's not that hard and it's not simple to only understand through watching. You can understand and master through doing. Doing it repeated times, multiple times, guys. Leo nimeongea sana. And I'm proud of myself where I am. And I wish you guys, are proud of yourself from where you are. I believe, pia mimi, nikianzia actually, I've only learned through YouTube. I never had a mentor. Because I can't afford it actually. You hear me, guys? It's not that easy. And everyone mwenye utapata anaitisha nini pesa. That is the problem. So I had to do it on my own. Use the AI very well. Sawa guys. So you have this chance of learning. I am teaching these free classes, beginner classes. They are not that expensive than your dreams. Take this opportunity. I remind you once again, your dreams are bigger more than $15 to $20. You guys, are you hearing me? We've all been here. And some of you might think like as if, yes, I know you might ask yourself questions. Why am I not driving a GLE or a Mercedes? No, everyone starts from somewhere. What matters is the end. How will it be? You just ask yourself a question. If I don't start it today, how will I be in 10 years? Will I be working for someone? That is not my goal. Actually, number one thing I hate is someone talking to me about being employed. I'll never be a slave. You know what? I know where I'm headed to. I know what I am doing. I believe one day and day one, I will own an empire and my own academy for teaching what I have learned for this time, all this time. It's not about the money. It's about what you learn during the process. That is what matters the most. And guys, I think for today, I'll leave you on there right now. We'll be covering the next time. We have a lot to cover. Have the candlesticks pattern. From candlesticks pattern, we have the fair value gaps, the order blocks, liquidity, entry points, exits, have the trading psychology. And the funny thing about it, tomorrow early in the morning, 8 a.m., I will be hosting a live session on YouTube, trading gold. Not trading, but analyzing the markets. Not only for gold, I have my favorite currency pairs, and that is GBP JPY, GBP NZD, GBP CAD, the Euro USD, and the GBP USD. And now, that is it, guys. You guys, a reminder is nobody has the authority to shut your dreams. You have the ability to turn the page. Okay, guys? And a reminder, actually, it's either you trade or you suffer, my brother. That is the word of the day. And actually, guys, thank you for joining me. And I do enjoy teaching you guys. Yeah. A reminder, we have different sessions in the market before I close up. We have different sessions in the market. We have the Sydney session, we have the Tokyo session, we have the London and the New York session. But for us, we trade on 3 sessions, Asian, the London, and the New York. But most of the time, we take a trade only on the London session because that is where we get what we call have the accumulation in the Asian session, a manipulation in the New York session, and a distribution in the London session. And that is the end of today. So guys, be blessed and still keep following and subscribe to my channel, YouTube channel, as we keep growing. Thank you.